Today we have Brendan Boyd, who is another fellow podcaster, and you are going to teach us, and namely me, how to monetize a podcast. Yes, I need to know this stuff because I am basically just in my labor of love journey.
Yeah.
But if I could get paid, who doesn't want to get paid to interview people and get all their questions answered directly?
Yep, for sure. So, first of all, Sabrina, I want to say, thanks for having me. I'm happy we had the opportunity to connect. So it's super dope to be on your platform. So, just want to give some gratitude and say thanks. Now we're going to just talk about the money. Let's get to the money. So, I think generally when people start podcasts, a couple things happen. They get hella excited. They're like, yo, I'm ready to do this and this is going to be great. This is going to be fun. But like, I would say close to like 85% of podcasts is quit between episodes 7 and 15, and a lot of them quit because it's either the consistency, right? It starts to become like a job to them or whatever. So it's the consistency. They don't really have a flow. And then it ends up being like work because they don't see a return coming fast enough, right? And some of these expectations they just kind of like set on themselves, and then they're not really coming into the game with a plan. The other thing is a lot of podcasters, through hundreds of conversations I've had, they just assume that you need a large audience before you can monetize, that you need brand deals to monetize, and that you need sponsorships. And though those are three great ways to monetize, that's not at all what you need to start monetizing. And I think that once, brand new podcasters or even existing podcasters understand that they don't need 1,000 downloads per episode. They don't need, 2,000-3,000 views on YouTube. If it's, if their podcast is on YouTube, they can really start to understand, as long as I have a targeted audience and as long as I have some offers, I can get some sales. I can use the podcast to monetize, right?
Okay. I really like where you're going with this.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so basically, I'm going to just give you like what I feel like are the four fundamental. These are like these are going to be like your foundation. If you have these four fundamental options set up, like these staples set up on your podcast, you'll have no problem monetizing, and you can monetize literally from either episode 1 or your next episode.
Okay.
Right? So this is how it breaks down. All right, cool. So this is how it breaks down. So the number one thing that podcasters need to monetize is going to be a product. But even simpler than that, as I'm pretty sure because we're in a similar mastermind, is a digital product. So if a podcaster utilize a digital product, they can monetize from their first or their next episode. But even simpler than that, because I know some people probably listen to this or they're probably thinking about this, they're like, well, I don't know how to write. Let's say it's a book. I don't know how to write a book. How long does it gotta be? What's the topic gonna be about? Like, I don't see how I can do it. Even simpler than that, to start monetizing, all you need from a digital product is a cover, a title, and a payment link. If people listening, if your audience can create a cover from Canva, or you can hire a graphic designer or go to Fiverr, right? You get a title for your e-product, right? If it's a book, title for your ebook, and a payment link so you can get paid on. You can use a pre-sale strategy, right, to sell the book. Now, if we're doing the math, 22 sales of a $47 pre-sale of a digital product is $1,034. So a podcaster can get their first $1,000 from just 22 sales of a $47 product. And even simpler than that, you can start generating these sales before your podcast episode or your next podcast episode goes out, because you could just start using, I call it like a selling circle, like your selling circle. So that's family, friends, any virtual groups you're part of, physical groups, the gym, Facebook groups, going live, you know what I mean? Virtual communities, water coolers. So if you have physical work, if you work, hybrid or virtual, whatever, wherever you kind of are connected to people, everyone has even a small percentage of people that will just support them if they just ask. So if you couple that with your podcast episode, hey guys, what's going on today? We're going to be talking about XYZ. Welcome to the XYZ podcast. I got Sabrina as a guest. But before we get into today's episode, I want to let you guys all know about my brand new ebook talking about ABC. It's going to cover these details. You can grab it at abcbook.com. So now every single podcast episode is going to be promoting and marketing that asset for you as you continue to create more and more podcasts. Now you're going to end up with a compound effect with multiple podcasts promoting that book for you while you could be anywhere in the world. You could be setting up your next podcast. You can be with your son or daughter. You could be with your significant other. You could be taking a nap, whatever you're doing. That's going to be product number one. Right?
Now, should this ebook be correlated to your podcast topic? Should this be like so mine is the 6-figure side hustle. Should my ebook be about 6-figure side hustles? Or because I do have
so for you, so for you, what I would do is, I would do, maybe you could create, so you already got a book, but let's say you didn't have one, right? You could probably create the 6-figure side hustle blueprint. And this might be the top 5 things that they need to position themselves to get 6 figures. So we're talking about 2023. So that might be, and I'm just off the cuff, that might be a YouTube channel. That might be virtual assistant. That might be, your business structured properly. That might be, focusing on one product. That might be getting a coach or a program or a mentor or something, all the way up to 10. Then as you introduce your podcast, what's going on? This is Sabrina from the 6-Figure Side Hustle Podcast. All my 6-figure, all my 6-figure people out there that's inspiring to have 6 and 7 figures. What if I helped you expedite that process? That's right. I put it all together in my brand new 6-figure side hustle blueprint. And you can get the 10 things that you need right now by just going to 6figureblueprintbook.com. And then today's guest, I got Brendan coming on the show.
All right. Don't nobody steal that idea.
So now you got that going on, right? So that's going to be moving and grooving for you, right?
Right.
So number 2, the second most impactful way that you can basically guarantee, you can guarantee and you can predict the revenue that you can bring in with your podcast is with a subscription service. So the best way to look at this is like, let's say, Sabrina, you and I were going to Mexico. I really like this analogy. You and I are going to Mexico. Let's say you got your ticket first. That is true. Let's say we're going back to Mexico. Let's say we're going back to Mexico or a different part of Mexico. You got your ticket first. You didn't wait for me. Right. So we didn't talk about what tickets we was going to get. You got the first class ticket because you're premium. You're first class. That's the experience you want. I was lagging a little bit. I ended up just getting the economy. What happens? We're both getting to Mexico at the exact same time. What's the difference though? You got different food and drink available. You got a bathroom that a lesser amount of people have access to. They're going to be a little nicer to you. They're going to talk to you a little bit different. You might have a pillow. You might have a blanket. You know what I'm saying? You might have more leg room. You're going to get off the plane and get on the plane first, right? But you're paying for that experience. Right. Me, I got a restaurant that has the majority of the plane. I hit the button. They barely come by to check on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a regular experience. So how does that translate to the podcast? Well, everyone, whether they're watching the podcast or listening to the podcast, they get the economy experience, which is just experiencing the podcast. Everyone can do that. You can go on all the platforms, whether audio or video. You can go on our platforms. You can experience the podcast, right?
Right.
But there's going to be a small percentage of your viewers, even if you only have 50 viewers, there's going to be a tapped in audience that wants to get more access to Sabrina, wants to learn about six-figure side hustles, wants to be able to connect with you however they can connect with you, right? So for you, you may offer them a weekly Zoom call. You may offer them a bi-weekly Zoom call. You may offer them, let's say there was 3 to 5 minutes of recorded content or questions that you asked me that you did not include in the podcast, but were available for your premium six-figure community. They can get access to that. Maybe you had your guests that come and speak once a month for like 15 minutes, and your community could Q&A them. Maybe you gave them access to digital products before, the public. Maybe you had quarterly meetups and only available for people in your community. They can meet with you, wherever city you're at quarterly, right? And what if you charge $99 for that? Well, 10 people is $1,000, and now you got $1,000 every single month from 10 people, not 500, not 1,000.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's podcasters out right now that's getting 3,000 views per episode. That's not making no money because they don't have no offers. They don't have nothing set up. So if you had, and I just want to know this honestly, right? If you had, let's say you had 100 views on this podcast episode, how would you feel about that? Would you feel like that's a lot of people or not?
I would feel like that's a lot of people for where my podcast is right now in the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
So in the grand scheme of things, you don't think it's a lot of people. Okay. If you were in a room and it was 100 people in the room, how would you feel about that?
Yeah, that's a nice audience.
Exactly. So why physically is 100 people a nice audience, but virtually 100 people or auto-wise, 100 people isn't a lot audience, right? So if you took 10% of 100 listeners, or even let's say 5% of 100 listeners, which is 5 people, and they converted and they paid you $100 a month, and that's $500 coming every single month from 5 people, which is 5% of your 100 viewers. Wouldn't that be valuable?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yep. And that's $6,000 a year from your podcast from only 5 people.
Right.
So you can see how you can add that up, right? Now, the third most impactful way that you can pick up additional revenue from your podcast is what I call VIP packages. Now, most podcasters are unfamiliar with what VIP packages is. Obviously, we're breaking it down on your six-figure podcast. You know what I'm saying? So this how it happens. So again, I'm gonna use you as an example. Let's say you and I are going to just get regular burgers and fries, right? Go get burgers and fries. You order burger and fry. I order burger and fry. So the cashier, right? If they're on their job, which a lot of them are a little lazier now, they don't even get trained nowadays. But if they're on their job, they're gonna be like, "Hey, do you guys want the combo, or do you guys want the upside?" So let's say you taking that, I don't. So you get the drink, right? Because the combo is normally just a drink. You get the drink, I don't get the drink. So they were able to make 50% more revenue by just asking, right? So how does this work for the podcast? Well, same thing, right? You're going to ask your guest, right, if they want to take advantage of something that they already want because it's going to provide them with value. So how does that even work? So typically, when guests come on this show, the podcast is free. Typically, right? You're gonna you figure out how to get the guest on. They're gonna give value. You see that as an equal, beneficial opportunity. You're coming on my platform and you're bringing value, and then we got the asset once we're done recording it. This is amazing, right? But what if you said to your guest, "Hey, what's up, guest? Let's call the guest Mike. Hey, what's up, Mike? It's super excited to have you on the episode today. Just so you know, we do offer a VIP package option." Sabrina, what's that? Well, Mike, our VIP package is designed to provide you with more value. So let me just break it down, right? And it's super optional, so it's up to you if you want to take it, right? So basically what we're going to do is we're going to provide you with like 10 social media clips, because we realize that most guests don't promote the podcast. So we want to make it easier. And we want to give you something that you can use for your social media. So we're going to give you 10 social media clips from this episode that we record. Oh, we noticed that you got a SaaS product. So we're going to film a commercial for your SaaS product in real time, put that commercial in your episode, right? We're going to do a premium email and text message blast that's going to be basically featured around your SaaS product, directed to our community, right? We could do a YouTube or IG live with you to put you in front of our community in real time and give you another opportunity to let them know about you, your business, your products and services. And if you have an affiliate opportunity, we can run an affiliate play that gives us more incentive to push your products. And that's only $500. That sounds good. Actually, I would like to take that. So if you releasing 4 podcasts in a month, you got one releasing every single week. If 25% of people take that, it's $500 on top of your subscription and your digital product. And all you're doing is asking. Now, if the guest is savvy and they understand marketing, they know how they could leverage and take advantage of all that additional value. But if they don't take it, it's cool, right? It's fine if they don't take it, right? But if you convert all 4, that's extra $2,000. What if you're like, Brendan, well, I don't feel comfortable at doing it at $500. Cool. What if you did it at 3? That's the extra $1,200, $300 on the low end. And you don't even have to waste your time with editing. Like if you're sending your podcast to be edited by somebody domestically, or if you're using like Fiverr or Upwork, you just order those extra clips from whoever's editing it. That might be an extra $80 to $100. You get the spread. So if you're getting $300, you'll get an ROI of $200. If it's $500, you get an ROI of $400. And all you do is just offer them something that they want anyway. Yes, they want their product and service promoted. Yes, they want some call to action. Yes, they want to get in front of more people, with a direct link. Yes, they would love the affiliate opportunity if you have that available. So it's a no-brainer, right? So before we talk about number 4, what if you then take, a commercial for your digital product? That's in the episode. You got your commercial for your subscription product. That's in the episode. Or it could be a live read, however you want to do it. And now you got 10 to 20 episodes in the future that you're recording it. They're all marketing your product. And then you're doing a VIP package option to every time you got a guest come on the show. So without brand deals, without sponsorships, right, and without a large audience, your podcast is now able to generate revenue.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Heavy talk, right? Heavy talk.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So now the 4th most impactful way for your podcast to generate revenue is to finally, and this is for people out there that may just be casually running a podcast. It's time to put an end to that. You have to realize that your podcast is really a media business. And if you set it up like a media business, there's so many opportunities that you can take advantage of that will allow you to get more revenue, fund and write off your investment into your podcast/media business, and also position you for other opportunities. So it breaks down like this. And I'm pretty sure you already know this as well. But
do not know this, so I'm very
right.
to learn.
So basically, instead of just shooting a podcast, what you're going to do is you're going to take the structure. You're going to take the structure of what you would normally do to set up your business and set up your podcast with the same structure. So we're talking about LLC, EIN, getting all your IP, getting your domain, your Google email, your Google email, your DNB, like everything that a bank would need. So if you go to the bank, they will be able to open up a bank account, right? Your business address, like, I got the whole list, so I can send it to you if you need it. But basically, you want to be structured as a business, right? Now, once you're structured as a business, if your credit is good, then you can use your personal credit to PG the opportunity for you to now get business credit, right? So your business is going to be set up through the Secretary of State, and obviously in the federal government, they're going to see it as a marketing and consulting and media business, right? So that's going to be the clarification on the backside. And now if you go to Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citizens, whoever you're doing business with, U.S. Bank, whoever you're doing business with, they're now going to be able to offer you business credit, or business funding, whatever the situation is. Now, if you, like I said, if your personal credit is good, you can PG your personal to establish your business. If it's not good, you can still set everything up. You can still set everything else up, and then start working on your personal credit on the back end. And then when you're ready, you could, you'll be able to access $10, $20, $30,000 off the rip, or whatever case may be. Now, all your software, all your hardware, you're paying for equipment, you're paying for lights, you traveling, whatever has to do with the podcast, you're able to write that off. Right. So now you're saving money, and you can utilize the leverage that you just created to no longer have to spend your own personal money to fund your media business. Another great thing is when there's events coming on in your city, right? Let's say there's a concert, there's a show, comedy, event, whatever. Since you're a media business, you actually qualify for those credentials. So now you can get free credentials. You can interview like the people, you can get behind the backstage, green room, all access. You can interview and build new relationships with, different clientele people. Generally, you can get that access for free because you're part of photo, video, your media, essentially, right? You can get hosting opportunities, speaking opportunities. There's just a lot of things that you'll start to position yourself to be able to do, and also be able to write off all your expenditures, because now you're a media business.
Yeah, that is a crazy play. So I was aware of like the business funding and stuff like that. But as far as you're saying, set yourself up as a media business, like you mean when you're using the NAICS codes, do like media?
Yeah. So for there, it'll be like consulting. It'll be basically consulting in media, essentially. But that's just for them to record it. But you're going to be operating on as a front, as a media business. So essentially,
and where do you get these media credentials from? Like, where would I go to get access to these events?
You just reach out. If you know there's an event, you just reach out to whoever's hosting the event, running the event coordination. Say, hey, what's going on? My name is Sabrina. I have a media business that runs a six-figure side hustle podcast. I would love to come down and interview some of your people, or come down and cover the event. Like tomorrow, I got invited to host at this restaurant because they're doing a collaboration with the top potato company. So it's a burger and fry Web3 restaurant who's doing a collaboration with one of the like, they sell the most fries. I think it's $100 million French fry company, potato company. They're doing a collaboration. So I'm going to be interviewing one of the owners of the restaurant and the senior VP of that potato company. And I'm able to position myself like that because of my status, right? I podcast, but then it's not just a podcast, like it's a business.
It's a media company.
Exactly. So I'm able to kind of move and shake in those environments. I can shoot the podcast there. Like you can, repurpose the content. It's a lot that you can do. But to get access to those credentials, you just have to be set up properly and literally just reach out. There's so many other things we could talk about and go down, but those are just the foundation. So foundationally, with those four steps, you can confidently position your show to start generating revenue with every single episode.
That's amazing. I did know a little bit of this stuff, but honestly, I wasn't doing any of it. Where'd you go?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Your picture disappeared.
Okay, no, I'm here.
No, but that's all great stuff. So if you're starting a new podcast, you would want to set up the business formation correctly, get your digital product going, or even just the pre-sales of your digital.
All you need is just the pre-sale option, because I don't want to make it harder. I don't want people to overthink themselves out of the opportunity. You know what I mean?
How long do you normally take to fulfill that? Like if someone buys your pre-sale offer?
Yeah, so I would I would do a 60-day pre-sale.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I would do a 60-day pre-sale, and this is another strategy I take, but I'll share it in here. Every podcast should have a free community. You're gonna have your paid community, but every podcast should have a free community. So basically, let's say you're doing your pre-sale strategy, even though they're not gonna get the book for 2 months. they can get access to the free community, and then you can start dropping just free value and free content in there every single week, so you keep them warmed up and nurtured. So you're not just they just buy something, you just show up 2 months later, right? You want to just keep nurturing them with the episodes, but then say, hey, listen, because you bought the book, you qualify for the group. It's a value group based around X, Y, Z. So then whether you're in there, a VA is in there, or assistants in there, or something, you're still able to keep them engaged until that product is available.
Okay. Very good, very good. Yeah, that's all. So basically, without having a very large audience, from episode 1, you should begin to start to make $500 to $1,000 a month. But as podcasts grow, that will compound, because these episodes, I believe it was David Shan said, like, it wasn't until like episode 30 or 40 that he started getting really popular, but then everyone started going back and watching the original episodes.
And just imagine if you got links. You got some commercials in there from all the previous episodes.
Yeah, I love the commercial idea.
You're going to wake up one day to some dollars. You know what I'm
saying? Right. Okay, I love the discipline of that. Well, yeah, I definitely want to make money from this. So I'm going to have to implement some offers into it. Feature my commercials. I love the idea about offering that VIP package for guests, which I'm not doing. I offer the clips, well, it's not 10, it's 3, but they're just basically like, here, thank you for being a guest, courtesy clips. But basically,
so I've stopped doing that because I realized that they don't even post them. So what I was doing is I used to make 4 clips an episode, and I would keep 1 for me, and I would give them 3.
Right.
But they didn't even post them. So I'm like, why am I paying for these clips that y'all ain't gonna post? So
why aren't you posting them?
Because guests don't promote their episodes. Like, a high percentage of guests don't promote. They just don't do it. They're excited to do the show.
Right.
But when it shows out, they're like, oh, thanks for the link. But they don't go crazy with pushing it. There's probably a very small percentage of them that are like, that'll push it, but most of them don't. So I just flipped it. I just, before I started doing VIP packages, I would just give them 1.
Right.
Here, thanks, right? And then once I started figuring out how to even monetize more, I just started offering the VIP package, because it's like, okay, cool, I can give you a package of clips. I can easily shoot a commercial, in person or, on location, for whatever you got going on, product service wise. Email, text message is easy. Affiliate is easy. So it's like, it's a value pack for you, And then I just started offering it, and people started taking it. So I'm like, this is it. You just have it available.
So when you're saying affiliate links, you mean that you are their affiliate and you get a percentage of all the sales made off their product that you're advertising?
So one of the easiest ways to generate additional revenue is always with affiliates. I got a whole breakdown on affiliates that I'm going to release on my YouTube channel. That's also in my program. But basically, you wouldn't imagine how many products and services that we casually use that have an affiliate program. So I call it an affiliate toolkit, but when you have a guest come on, they may already have a product, that has an affiliate option. So, you just say, hey, listen, I know you got this SaaS product or this ebook or program course, whatever. Does that come already with an affiliate? Do you have an affiliate link for that setup? If they do, you're good to go. If they got a setup, you just work with them to have it set up. Worst case scenario, if they're using, let's say it's a digital product, if they're using a software that doesn't allow them to do an affiliate, there's third-party affiliate sites that you could just work with to get a custom link that you'll still be able to do an affiliate play with.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different options.
What's an example of the site? Because I didn't know that there was sites for people who did not have the affiliate set up. And I know most of us all on ClickFunnels, and it's not that intuitive to set up the affiliate. You'd have to send your people into their back office or try to walk them through, I think it's Backpack, And
Yeah, backpack on it with ClickFunnels. Yeah,
but with
so
let you
so there's
integrate their.
so you can go JVZoo, JVZoo.com. You can go clickbank.com. Also, I think this is the name of the site. If it's not, then I can circle back with you specifically. But codegenerator.com, and what that does is it'll just put a link. It'll just put a code on the link, so it'll track like if the link came from me. So then I could go behind the scenes with you and say, hey, you have 5 purchases on my link, and then you just kind of break bread with me. So there's a couple of different options for
See,
people to use if the software that their products are from does not offer an affiliate option.
that's really so. I am familiar with ClickBank and JVZoo. So you would tell them to just put their product on there as an affiliate, and you would be, one of their affiliate promoters, basically.
100%. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And is that closed, or anyone can come along and promote their product if they put it there? Like you might be opening.
Anyone can do that. Mm-hmm. Anyone can do it, but I think it creates an added level of value for you when you offer them that VIP package, because if they're not already thinking about it, you're like, hey, listen, I just taught you something, and I'm willing to, push it out for you. So that link's gonna be in the show notes. It's gonna be in your description, and then also, you'll talk about it, or it's gonna be in that commercial that you create for them.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. I see I have a lot of work to do because I have not been doing any of that stuff. I did the first probably 15 episodes. I do have a segment where I'm asking my guests questions, because when I started the podcast, I also started a membership site, but the podcast beat the membership site. And then once I saw what the web development team was doing, I'm like, oh, this is crap. This is why it's not done. So I basically had to scrap it and start all over. So I am on the right track with that. It was just I had the wrong team, but I do like having a community where they could tap into additional resources and, get that extra sauce and community that some people want, those premium clients, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But that media play is huge. Getting into these events, becoming a host, that's really kind of like a hack for jump-starting your podcast, because now suddenly you look like you're a successful podcaster, and you're interviewing people you probably wouldn't have had access to. So that's some incentive. I did lock down my EIN number, but I did not, do all the
things.
The business address, the phone number. It gets tedious when you have so many businesses and they're like, you're setting all these things up, but it's worth it. If you could get into the room, and we all know that that's the secret play, is to get in the room. And now you're getting into the room as an expert.
Definitely.
So that's pretty cool. All right. So I know that you have a very, very busy day. So we're going to get into the Rainmaker round. I just want to get a few more questions off. Okay. So this will be good, because I know you go to a lot of events. What is the last conference you attended, and what's the biggest gem you learned?
That's a good question. The last conference I attended, I think I probably was our mastermind in Mexico. I think it was probably the last one I attended. Yeah. And I think for me, the biggest thing was it's very simple, but I think the biggest thing for me was just making sure you just make more offers, really. Because I think that we can get inundated with working all day, especially if you're solopreneur, or if you're doing everything and you're like, I'm doing this, I'm getting this done, and you're spending all your time working on stuff, but you haven't made a sale because you haven't made any offers. You haven't done no follow up, sent out no emails, sent out no text messages, made a post for the CTA, no follow ups. You know what I mean? So I think making sure that you have even periods out your day. If you don't have no ads running, or if you don't have any any assistance, that you just take, an hour out your day, 30 minutes out your day, and dedicate that to either creating new offer opportunities by just, going on your platforms and just promoting your products and services, or having some follow up time. Because, you can easily let a whole day or two go by and don't do no sales because you don't do no offers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was a really good part of it. That was a great mastermind, filled with a lot of gems. Another hack to getting in the room. So what book are you reading right now?
Right now, I'm reading The Psychology of Money.
That's a great
I
book.
stay with a book, so I
always want to know what people are
Yeah.
reading. I connect with people. Like, I love people who speak in books. My greatest mentors, like, I'm thinking they're so profound and wise, and they're quoting books. And usually I don't realize it till I get to that part in the book, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I thought that they were giving me this brilliant insight, and they're just quoting.
You're like, they just got to it before me. That's all.
Yeah, but that's all good. You get good advice from books. So The Psychology of Money, definitely a great read. What are like words you live by, or what's a quote that you kind of follow for your life?
I can give you two. One would be it's like my personal formula: C squared plus D squared equals success, or C squared plus D squared equals S, and that's commitment, consistency, discipline, and doing more equals success. So that would be number one. And number two would be just like taking perfect action. Don't like overthink yourself out of moving. There's no such thing as perfection. So if you spend a lot of time trying to get perfected, I need this software, I need this camera, I need this perfect guest, I need it to be like this, it's never going to happen. So I remember when I started my virtual podcast, I didn't even have a title for it the first 3-4 episodes. I was just like, all right, I'm back with episode 1. We don't got a name, but we going. Like, that's how it was. Yeah, I think David Shands had a situation like that too when he dropped Social Proof. He didn't have a title for it. He just had a bunch of episodes. He just kept moving. So I think, just taking imperfect action and wherever you're at is probably something that I definitely live by.
Yeah, those were words that really had to sink in for me too. I think it's Tony Robbins says, perfection is the lowest standard you can have for yourself because you'll never achieve it. So you'll never get started. And,
that's profound for sure.
Yeah. And I would say social media kind of makes it, you think, oh, there's all these people running around living these perfect lives. And then you find out they're fake.
Yeah, not fact.
Okay. If you could go back to the beginning of your 6+ figure journey, what would be one piece of advice you would give yourself?
I would say get a mentor sooner. Get a mentor sooner, because I think through my journey, like a lot of my businesses, I was freestyling. I was figuring out on my own. I was going out seeking information, doing. It's very difficult for you to do something that you never did before, trying to figure it out as you go. So, because if you never did it before, you don't know what you're doing. So you may think that what you're doing the right way, but you don't have no idea to tell if you're doing or know what you're missing or know how to make it easier, because you have no idea. So I think if you get a mentor, a program, or just, even if you go on YouTube and just follow some steps, because there's so much information on YouTube right now, I think that's something I would go back and tell my younger self, like, get a mentor sooner in an area of business that you want to be in, and then just do everything that they say.
Yeah, I have to agree that that is another hack to getting where you want to be quicker. And you're either going to pay through your inexperience and mistakes, or you're just going to pay someone to smoothly transition you to where you want to be. So a lot of people think, oh no,
you're paying something.
Yeah, you're paying something with
paying something,
your tears and time. Okay, so I know you're a successful podcaster who's monetized your podcast. What's the name of your podcast? Like, we all need to tune into Brendan Boyd's podcast. Where can we find that?
So you can find out on all the all the podcast platforms, and also YouTube, on the Pursuit. So it's on the PRST. Um, and on my podcast, I interview 6, 7, 8 figure earners, and basically I have them share their stories and break them down. So beginner entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs that are just starting out, they can listen to these stories and hear some of the mistakes, hear some of the things that work, didn't work, to help inspire them to either make less mistakes or just avoid things altogether.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I love that. That's kind of we need more content like that, because nobody's success journey ever looks like this, where they're just going straight
Yeah.
up. That's just what we're seeing again on social media. And it's like, I must be failing because I'm having all these problems, and all these other people, they're making $1 million like overnight, but
Like
that's not
that.
the
Yep.
case. So it's really helpful to talk to people who have achieved great levels of success like yourself. I'm very thankful that you came on. Now, if we want to, do you have it? I'm sure you have a digital product, because you just said that that's the foundation of starting
Yeah.
a podcast. But if we want to follow you or tap into your digital product, how can we do that? How can we stay tuned in and
Yeah.
get more
So there's
information?
definitely. So there's two things that I'll do. So I got a free 30-minute training, kind of going a little bit deeper into what we covered. So if any of your viewers want to check that out, have them go to podcastproof.com. That's podcastproof, PROOF.com. And then also, what I would love to do is give your viewers my free manifestation bundle. So basically, what it is, it's a digital deck of manifestation cards to help their mindset stay right. They can pull a digital card every single day, and then also there's an accountability and productivity workbook that's digital in there as well. So to access that, all they need to do is text 213-410-4920. That's 213-410-4920. Just text the word podcast, and they can get access to that.
Perfect. And of course, we're going to put all that stuff in the show notes for you all. That is very generous. I'm so thankful that you came on. You not only schooled the audience, you schooled myself. I see all the areas I have holes, and now I have to run around and plug my bucket. I love, I could just interview people all day, because I just like to ask questions and find out, what other people are doing, what their experiences are. But if I could get paid to get this insider information, what more could I ask for?
Facts. Definitely.
So this has been another episode of the Six Figure Side Hustle podcast. We interviewed Brendan Boyd and got some amazing monetization strategies for your existing or new podcast. Don't do it like me, and do it as a labor of love. Get paid for that time. Get paid to interview, and whatever your passion is. So I have to go back and watch this again, so I can't wait till the episode comes so I can really take notes. I thought it would be rude if I was over here with my notepad, but I really enjoyed all the information that you gave and appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on. I look forward to coming on in the future, having you on my show in the future, and just continuing to build with your audience and just give value. So, like I said, make sure that they tap into the community, grab that free bundle. Just text that number. Head over to podcastproof.com if they want to take advantage of our free training. It's a free 30-minute training. I'm excited. I'm happy that you had me on. I'm super thankful.
Likewise. Well, take care, everyone.